What's good, everyone? This is Chris Haith, your local realtor here in Sacramento. We're going over how to buy a house 2021 edition, the step-by-step guide, and we're going to go over everything, the steps of what it takes to buy a home in 2021. I will greatly appreciate if you take some notes. If not, you can always rewatch the video. But let's get straight into it. Hopefully this brings you some kind of value. So number one is being financially prepared to buy a home. The biggest thing is, are you happy in your career? Are you happy where you're at? If so, definitely move forward with it, okay? Now, with the getting financially prepared, you need to have some steady income. You need to kind of save up a little bit and definitely get the debt to income ratio at a nice little level, which is about, if we need the debt to income ratio under the 41%, that would be amazing. And if you are self-employed, you should have about 6 to 12 months in reserves. Plus, if you can have a higher credit score, that will help out a lot with your interest rate. If you want to get 680 and up, that would be helpful. Number two is how much house you can afford. You want to be able to live comfortably. You want to try to keep all your housing costs under the 30% of what your income is. And all that entails is the interest, the principals, the taxes, utilities, and the HOA. You want to try to keep it in there because you don't want to be house poor. You want to go places after you buy your home. You don't want to, buy the home, be house poor, and just stay at home, go to work, home, go to work, home, like, we're kind of doing right now. Because what's going on. So yeah. And number three is your down payment and closing costs. It can range from 0 all the way up to 20 or more if you would like to. You can start from the 0% with a VA loan, USDA loan, down payment assistance programs, which will have either a junior loan or grants to help you out. Now, conventional loans, you will go from between 3 to 20%. With 20% down, you can avoid the monthly private mortgage insurance fee. An example of that would be a $400,000 house, 20% down is the $80,000. Closing costs ranges from 1 to 3% of the purchase price, which all includes the appraisal fees, home inspections, title fees, and lender fees as well. So number four is getting a pre-approval letter. Now, a lender or a loan officer will send you a link to an application for you to fill out. After you fill out the application, you will need to turn in some documents like your W-2s, tax returns, pay stubs, bank statements, ID, social security number, and any other documents that they request too. Now, after the lender or loan officer has all that, they will approve you for a certain amount. This will let you know the limit of the purchase price for the home that you'll be looking for. So sellers and new home builders will not take an offer unless that pre-approval letter is attached to the offer. Or if you're going cash, then proof of funds. And given the pandemic, the sellers sometimes will ask for a pre-approval letter up front before they even let you see the home, because they only want serious people who are looking to buy only in their homes. They do not want so many people coming in, increasing the risk. And sellers can do that. They can request that, and they are able to deny you if you do not send over that pre-approval letter. It just lets them know that you are serious about purchasing the home and that you are actually able to purchase the home. And by doing that, it will decrease the risk. So number five is an option to find an agent. There's a wide range of agents out there. There are some that are good, there are some that are not so great. Now, what you want to do is be sure to look them up, and then also to interview a couple just to make sure what they provide is matching what you are needing. And if you do not want to use an agent, that is fine too. Now, what the agent is supposed to do is supposed to write the contract, interpret what the contract means and what it will mean for you, negotiate on your behalf, guide you through the process, and ultimately help you purchase the home. Next is starting the home search. What we need to do is establish some criteria, and which is going to be like a long list, and we're going to prioritize that list based off some of these questions. Meaning, like, what do you look for in a home? And what are your must-haves and can't-haves? Like the price, square foot, bedrooms, bathrooms, you want a pool, how big do you want your backyard to be? You want a single story or a 2-story? Do you prefer a condo? Is there a certain neighborhood or area that you have to live in? And then what about your interests and hobbies? Are there amenities close by that can fulfill the hobby and the interest? How about the commute from work? Do you only want to drive 20 minutes from there and back, or is a longer commute better for you? Is there a school district that you prefer for your kids? Are there family and friends that you want to be close to or not too close to? In a home, do you prefer new or do you prefer charming? How big is your family, and have you thought about expanding your family? Or will someone leave soon, like going off to college or getting their own place? Now, take all those answers and rank them from the top to the bottom, and then the ones that are top are going to be your priority. And then the search begins. Usually we will take a look between 7 to 10 houses just to make sure it is the right one. I always like to take a look at multiple houses just to make sure you are getting perspective. And given that the market that we're in, especially in Sacramento, is like the number one hottest market right now, I try to get into the home within the first 48 hours it comes onto the market, because if we can do that, it gives us a better chance to even decide if we want that home or not. And if we're not able to make it, we definitely have virtual tours that I go on. I'll go in there and do the live tour, whether it's through Facebook, Instagram, FaceTime, Google Duo, and then take 4K video after that. Number 7 is when you find that perfect home for you, what we do is we place in an offer. What I usually do, I send a draft of the offer to you so you can definitely take a look to make sure that we are on the same page. And then basically what it says is the down payment that you want to have for it, the amount the loan is good for, also the deposit that you want to put down to hold the house if you get the offer accepted, how long it'll take to close, and then basically deciding on the terms between closing costs between you and the seller. That deposit is from the down payment. So say if it's 20%, and then you just take away that 1% of that, and then the rest of the down payment is like the 19%. So the reason why we have a deposit is because if the offer is accepted, we place a deposit towards the title company. And then with the title company, they are a third party, so it is not biased at all. And yeah, and that lets the seller know, hey, I got some skin in the game. Third party has the deposit. Can you please take the home off the market and change it to pending? So there are contingencies set in place, meaning that you'll get inspections done, get the appraisal done to the home, make sure that it gets that value, and then also making sure the loan goes through. If any one of those 3 happens to fall out or not have an agreement, you can't always back out and get your deposit back, so no need to worry about that. Now back then, you could write a personal letter to the seller stating, how much you love the home, I'm this person, I'm that person. But the Fair Housing Act is saying you need to hold on with that, because that could give, not saying it will, but that could give any kind of type of discrimination, whether it's marital status, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, income status, any of that. So that's why they kind of prohibit that now. So it's just strictly based on the terms of the offer. If the offer is accepted, great, let's get into it. If not, we keep looking. We go back to the home search step. Number 8, we go under contract. Once we are under contract, we turn in the deposit to that title company. We order inspections. We also order the appraisal. And then we make sure we get everything ready for the loan to be underwritten and fully conditionally approved. And for the inspections, I recommend getting the home, the pest, and the roof inspections done. And with the appraisal, an appraiser comes out and gives us the value of the home and relays it back over to the bank or the lender to approve the loan amount. Number 9 is the repairs and credits. So say after we get inspections done, there is a whole lot going on that you feel that you are overwhelmed with this, especially over the long term. What we can do is negotiate between, okay, I am willing to do this much. Can you do this much? Can you come to some sort of agreement with that, whether it's getting the repairs done or getting credit towards your closing costs, so you could be able to order that after you get your home. If there's an agreement, we can move forward. If there's not an agreement and it can't be done, you can always back out and get your deposit back. Now, if the appraisal comes back in at the value that we put the offer in, or even higher, we're good to go. There's no need to worry about that, because the bank will loan up to that amount, minus the down payment. Now, if the value comes lower than what you offered, then someone has to make up that difference. For an example, we send in an offer for $400,000, but the appraisal comes back at $390,000. There's a $10,000 difference where the bank will loan versus the amount that we offered. At this point, we need to negotiate the difference. We can ask for the seller to come halfway and we go up halfway, or we can ask for the seller to come back and lower the price to $10K, or we just come up with the extra $10,000 in cash. If there's an agreement, great, we move forward. If we cannot come to an agreement with that, then you can always back out and get your deposit back. Number 10 is making sure that the loan goes through. That means that your file has been sent to the underwriter and the underwriter conditionally approves the loan, meaning that the bank will send over the funds to the title company to purchase the home. Now, I have rarely seen transactions fall out of escrow because of loan discrepancies. What can happen is if you make a huge purchase, either through credit or through cash, if it raises up if it lowers your credit score, or if you lower the amount of cash that you have to close, that can definitely put a dent in the process. It might even delay closing and possibly fall out of escrow. So you don't want to do that. Just make sure you don't make any huge purchases. If you already got pre-approved for a certain amount and then you're about to be conditionally approved and you just keep steady at what you're doing, you should be good to go. Now, if you have an emergency, definitely we understand things happen, especially 2020. Yeah, things definitely happen. So yeah, definitely understandable. And if you have to back out because of that, can back out, get your deposit back. Now, number 11 is your final walkthrough. At this point in time, the sellers will have removed their belongings. We will walk through the home to make sure it is in the same condition or better. If it is in the same condition or better, we sign off on the form called a verification of property, and we send it off. We are good to go. If it is not, then we definitely, on that verification of property, we make sure that we write on there, hey, this wasn't like this when we were here. Can you please fix that? So after that, you usually go to a title company to sign off on all the documents that they will have for you. But given the pandemic, a lot of times we'll have a notary come out to where you are, masked up and everything, to sign off on the documents and to turn it back over to the seller so they can sign, and then get it back over to the title company for the title company to record. And last but not least is finally closing. We will get an email from the title company saying that we are on record and it's official. The house is your name. Congratulations. It was a process. You'll see that's the process, but it is a wild roller coaster ride that is super enjoyable with a relief at the end of it. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you got some valuable stuff out of it. You can let me know in the comments below. Give a like if you thought so. There's some more content coming up, and have a blessed one.